preparing to do a cross-country gyro flight from Hooks Airport near Tomball to Lone Star Executive in Conroe and back. So we're going to do a round robin. We're going to do it in the MTO Sport, and we're going to double check a few things on it before we take off to make sure that all the lighting systems are working properly. You can also see that the landing lights are working properly. And we'll soon find out about the dash lights and make sure the gauges light up properly while we're in the air. Alright, we like to do these right as it's coming down so that we're not in total darkness as we start. So, now for the fun. After our initial takeoff from Hooks Airport, I decided to do one flight around the pattern at Hooks just to get a little bit used to the sunset and how the approach was going to go. This clip shows us turning from base to final, coincidentally right over my house where the little lake is off to the left-hand side. As we line up on 17 right, you can see the lighting of the runway there. All of the runways are lighted with white lights and the taxiways are lighted with blue lights. As you come in on approach, this particular landing we tried to do more like a fixed-wing plane. There are the precision approach lighting, or the PAPIs, in a row off to the right-hand side, and we tried to come down on approach on a good glide path with 2 red and 2 white lights until we got close enough to drop in for landing. After this landing, we decided to go ahead and make a left-hand turn out toward Conroe, which is Lone Star Executive Airport, approximately 16 miles toward the north. Just as a reminder, Hooks Airport and Lone Star Executive are both towered airports, and before you leave you have to get the ATIS locally at both of them so that you know what the weather's going to be like and what their landing runways are. Then you're also going to be able to find out, does this have pilot control lighting? If they're controlled airports and it's before they close down for the day, then they will light the runways for you. If you are flying after 10, when both towers close, then you'll have to use pilot activated lighting. Pilot activated lighting is done by keying the mic 7 times to turn the lights on. This clip shows us coming into Lone Star Executive Airport. You can see a lighted baseball field off to the left and the airport in about the 12:30 to 1 o'clock position. As we come around, this approach will be done with 2 cameras. One of them is the GoPro mounted on the nose of the gyro, the other one is shown from inside the cockpit. And so you'll almost see a double approach to this particular landing as we come into runway 14 over at Lone Star Executive in Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Executive Airport has an ILS precision approach. This is why it has a little more sophisticated lighting on the approach to landing on runway 14. You might also notice that the beacon at this airport happens to be right on top of the control tower. On the flight back to Hooks, you'll notice a large freeway. This is actually facing Houston, but it's I-45 that goes from Houston to Dallas. On the remainder of the trip back to Hooks, you'll notice it gets dark rather rapidly. Also, we had a little bit of fun, and you'll see the strobes flashing off of the rotor as the camera is pointed directly toward the sky. When you look at the dash, you'll notice a couple of red lights that help just faintly illuminate the white markings on the airspeed indicator and the altimeter. The oil pressure gauge and the compass are always lit, as well as the GPS is turned down to a lower setting so that it doesn't cause problems with your sight while you're trying to view the other instruments and make blind spots. Remember, to fly nights solo, it does require a private pilot endorsement or higher in a gyroplane, and also a sign-off and training by a qualified CFI in a properly inspected gyroplane certified to fly at night. Remember, when flying at night, you need to make sure you follow the rule of P's. Proper planning prevents poor performance. In conclusion, flying at night in a gyro is very interesting, but also very dangerous. It needs to have a lot more caution than it does to fly in the day. I also make sure that I have ATC on standby for approach control, because if anything were to happen to the GPS or I couldn't find where I was, I would need to ask them for vectors to get me in safely to an airport where I could put the craft down and land properly. Remember, if you're going to do anything at night, make sure that you are certified and qualified through a proper CFI, and that he uses a gyroplane that has been checked out to be able to fly at night. Thanks for watching, and be safe while you fly.